Hello YouTube, this is the Copernicus and you're watching my Let's Play of Tech World 2. So quite a bit has happened since last episode in this one, and I'll just go over it part by part. So one thing I did over here, little thing, I just made this Cursed Earth mob spawner. Ooh, should probably fix that. There we go. I made my Cursed Earth mob spawner toggleable by redstone using Tinker's Mechworks, which I've never used before. So this is, excuse me, all new to me. I don't have any like alloy wire to use like I've used before that you can just string along like redstone on the wall. So that was unfortunate. Yeah, I just found this while I was searching for different redstone stuff. And yeah, you just kind of hook them all together, and then this lever turns off and on these redstone lamps. So pretty easy stuff. You can see here the wires when I hold this. They're all connected to that bus up there. So yeah, pretty easy. Just so I can toggle it on and off when I want. Don't have to like go in there and shoot lights or anything. What else? I don't know if I showed this off or not. I just put a trash can with a filter on it for like bows and leather stuff. I guess I should throw some leather pants in there. I didn't have any at the time. But yeah, they just go to the trash can before they go to the Tesseract back to my base. Speaking of, I also added a advanced filing cabinet from Extra Utilities. The regular filing cabinet can hold, I'm not sure the exact amount, but like a lot of one type of item that doesn't stack. So you could put a bunch of different like iron chest plates in a filing cabinet. They could have different armor values, like different damage and stuff, and they would all stay in there, which is cool. And if you have like full ones, they will stack in there and show you how many they have, and they automatically organize. But the advanced filing cabinet, show you the so filing cabinet is pretty easy, some chest and some iron. The advanced filing cabinet takes 3 filing cabinets and 6 of these magical wood, which you need an enchanted book for. And basically, it can do the same thing as a filing cabinet, but for more than one type of item. So if I open it up here, you'll see that there's a bunch of different kinds of bows with different damages, leggings, sword, I mean just everything. You can see like right here, the steel chest plate stack, all the bees that usually these wouldn't stack. So you can see here if I take a couple of them out, I mean they don't stack with each other, but throw them in there and they do. So I thought that was cool. So that goes before my chests, so that anything coming from the mob farm that doesn't stack won't clog them up, and anything in general won't clog up. You can see I have 9 division sigils now, just from my turtles kind of digging them up. But yeah, so these chests are a bit more organized now. What else? I think that's it for this part. Oh, hey, look at that. I missed a couple signal terminals. Oh well. Anyways, I hooked up a few more storage buses, and for the big change, you can see here out back, I made this farm, and I'll go over it real quick. But at first this was a rubber tree farm, so I was just doing that for a while, and then I decided I wanted to make something that'll show you in a bit, and that requires wheat. So I was like, I'll just turn most of it into a wheat farm, and then I just wound up turning all of it into wheat farm, because why not? I had enough rubber trees by that point. So we'll start out, let's see, start out with a planter. So underneath here, in the center, is this block called the planter from Mine Factory Reloaded. And basically you can, I don't need this filter right now anymore, but I was fusing this filter here to say plant half of it with seeds, and plant this other third, or 2/3 of it, I guess, with seeds, and this last third with rubber trees, and it would plant accordingly. But now, since I only have seeds, I don't really need the filter anymore. If you take everything off, it will plant whatever it has, which is seeds. Then it has an upgrade, quartz upgrade. Those are pretty easy to craft, and it just increases the effective range of the planter. And that goes up to, I think, 11 for like emeralds or something. Let's see. Yeah, these upgrade. Yep, emerald's the highest upgrade at 11. And there's different ones between copper, tin, bronze, lapis, all that stuff. So I have that, and that's powered. And I have an cable strung from my network all the way down here, and it's saying export seeds. So this is a precision export bus. It moves a stack of items at a time, and it basically exports any seeds it has into the planter. So any seeds I'm getting are going directly back into the planter, which is kind of what I want, because I don't need them otherwise. And so that plants them. You still need to keep them hydrated. It will till the soil for you, but it does, as far as I believe, I'm pretty sure it does not keep it hydrated. So you still have to do that with water and whatnot. And then I just have little glowstone blocks. Oh yeah, I found a use for glowstone. These large glowstone bricks, you just need 4 glowstone and some bricks. And they give off light and they look cool. So I thought, we'll make some. So I made a bunch, and that's kind of what I'm using for my cobblestone or what have you now. And then to harvest it, is a harvester. It has a lot of different options. Pretty much this will work with trees. It'll work with like cocoa beans. I think it works with like sugar cane. Basically anything you can plant, you can harvest. Anything that'll work with the planter works with the harvester. And you can set it if you want to shear the leaves or not. You can do shrooms. You can plant mycelium and have mushrooms. You can have it like chop down the big mushrooms and not the little ones. So you can even have like a mushroom farm. In jungle wood, you can set that to on or off, being as if you want a cocoa bean farm, but you don't want it to cut down the jungle wood. You can set that up, and again, it's a coarse radius. But this one goes on the edge of your farm rather than at the center like the planter does. And it also produces sludge, which you can use for other things. I won't really go into it. I looked up what it was used for. It wasn't that useful. So right here I just have a void fluid pipe, and that's just sending all the sludge I'm making to the void. And then the harvester automatically pops items out the back. So I have a chest there, you can see that. And then just import bus, which means it imports anything in the chest to my ME system. And so that's moving a stack at a time, no filter. It's going to import everything from this chest to my network. So moving on, why did I need all that wheat? Well, it was to breed cows, you see. So I'll just start here and go down the line with what I've got. So I repurposed that breeder I had. Oh, it needs wheat. Let me grab some. Some of the stuff is just going into these ME drives right here, as you can see. Not too much yet, but some stuff. Because I'm just throwing it in there, because I'm not really caring about everything has to be in a barrel anymore. So let's get some wheat. Take a bunch of it. Eventually I'll probably have an export bus set up, but I didn't want to craft all that. You can see it just made a bunch of baby cows, I believe. Yep, you can see experience there. And then here, and I'm not going to go down there, but there's a chronotyper in this middle section that takes the baby cows over here and puts them over here. So now we've got this chamber full of baby cows. And there's another chronotyper right there that takes the adult cows from here and puts them into lava. That's right, this chronotyper takes these adults, you can see just in a second here, and it shoves them over into the lava. I know it's horrible, but anyways, I have a vacuum. There's a little bit of space between the lava and the floor, so they fall through the lava. And then this vacuum hopper sucks up the cooked meat and the leather, and it pipes it over here into a barrel that I haven't done anything with yet. So I've got some leather, I've got some beef, and then what's going to happen here is I'm going to have a transfer node coming out of this barrel with the food in it, and it's evenly separated along this line. I have different let's see if I can take a little peek in here. I have different you really can't see it. There's these rationing pipes, and what they do is basically, I think I showed it off a little bit, or ooh, I did not want to do that. I want to do that. They basically split up everything coming through in half. So like, if I would have just strung the pipes straight along these generators here, one would have to fill up before the next one would start filling up, and I didn't want that. I kind of wanted them all running equally. So it kind of splits it up, not perfectly, but somewhat evenly along this whole line I have it. And you might be asking yourself, what are these things? So these are culinary generators from Extra Utilities, and by the name you could probably guess what they do. They generate RF, so redstone flux like we're using, with food. And the more saturating the food is, and the more like hunger bars it restores, the more it generates. So I was like, what stores or restores a decent amount of, it's decently saturating and restores a lot of hunger. And I thought beef, and that's kind of where this whole thing started. Then I made this, and I was like, oh, I'm going to need a bunch of wheat. So I made that, and it kind of just spiraled upwards. So, like I said, I haven't started this yet. I'm waiting to stockpile up a good amount of beef, but I think now would be a decent time. And by the way, I have redstone flux cables underneath here, all going to a tesseract that goes out from my base. So not only will my base be used, or if I have a tesseract using my base energy, it will be using not only the energy from these cells, but it will also be using the energy generated from here. And I just thought about this. This isn't going to work that way I wanted to. I think what I should do... Shucks. So, thinking about this for a second made me come to the realization that since this is set to send energy from base, it won't be using... Well, I guess this has 500,000 RF storage, so that'd be fine. But it won't be being used energy. It won't be using energy unless another tesseract that's trying to pull energy is using it at the same time. But then again, this one is also sending energy, so this one will be used too. So what I'm gonna wind up doing, I think, is changing that tesseract to send energy. And it's going to send it to this redstone energy cell. I might just make a, I might just replace this tesseract with a resonant energy, resonant energy cell. Be bigger than anything I've built so far. It stores, what, 5 million? Is that right? 50 million. 50 million RF. And it takes a redstone energy cell with 4 Enderium ingots, so, I mean, it's not too hard. Yeah, I might do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace this tesseract entirely and do this, so I can kind of see how much energy we're getting from our cow breeding. And I mean, I doubt it's fulfilling. Like, I doubt the amount of energy required from the chronotypers and the breeder really makes up for it, but I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun. You don't see food power much, so I guess here goes nothing. Let me grab, like I said, I'm gonna pop this off right now. So I guess these things will just store their own internal buffer. And one of these. Alright, so here goes nothing. Is this gonna generate? Are any of these generating? Oh wait, I have it broken in here, that's right. Okay, so I need one regular cable, which I have. Man, those hover boots would be nice right about now. There we go. So now we should start to see some cooking with beef. Or generation with beef, I should say. Any day now. What's going on? Obviously found a place to put it. Well, I'll tell you what, I will, maybe this is it. No. Well, I will try to figure out where this beef is going, and I'll be back when I do. Oh, here we go. So, like I said, it doesn't generate totally evenly. But let's see, there's some in there, some in there. I had more beef than that, didn't I? Oh geez, what the heck? Well, whatever. You know, hopefully our machine over there can keep up. I doubt it, but let's spread this out a little bit. I'm curious where all this power is going, since it's not storing any. Well, like I said, I'm going to craft that thing quick, place it down, so those things can start powering it up. So I'll be back when I'm ready to show you guys something. Now we're cooking with beef. Look at that. I gotta say, you know, I wasn't too convinced. I mean, half of these aren't even full or have anything in them. I suppose these have stuff in them that they're draining out now. Still, you know, not so bad. So I wonder what would happen if we made this bigger and badder. The only thing is how long it takes for the cows to be able to breed again, how long it takes for the cows to grow up. I mean, I'm sure if you get enough of them, it just doesn't become a factor anymore, but I mean, you can also just pump bread directly into these things from our farm over here. I'm sure that'd probably be more effective than what we're doing, but there's no way it'd be this much fun. I mean, come on, forcing cows to breed, putting them in a pen, and then taking the adults and throwing them directly into lava. How fun is that? That's not mean, is it? No. Sort this out a little bit. If we could automate this, I bet there's a way. If you could automate this without using any power, we could just generate power and then do something with it, and we could be like totally running off strictly cow power. I know there's ways to separate like adults like this from children. I don't know of a way to separate them once they grow up, kill them. Well, maybe we'll think of something. But for now, I think this will hold for a while. Hopefully we don't have to replace it or do anything with it for a while. But I'll think of something fun to do with our cow-generated power. And I'll be back when I do. Hey guys, so I thought I'd come back for this. So, you know we've done automatic crafting with these ME interfaces and like smelting stuff and putting them into inventories, but we haven't done any auto crafting with materials. Like if I wanted to make, you know, like a wooden plank, how do you do that? And I'm sure most of you know, but just in case you don't, I thought I'd show you this. You need to make this ME, what is it called? I don't know, like a containment center that you put crafting patterns in. And so this can be any size you want. I think it doesn't even have to have anything in the center of it, but we're going to put some. And I think you just get automatically one CPU by default, or one pattern. Yeah, you put a pattern provider in there, and you get a CPU by default. So I'm going to show you how to make this thing, just in case you're unaware. And it just has to be attached somewhere to your network. Let's see, where do we want this thing? Maybe right below here. Maybe we'll have it sticking out here a bit. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Easy access. There. Okay, so on the outsides, you're going to have ME assembler containment walls. This is going to... Let me get this out of the way. This is going to go around your whole little multi-block structure. So I happen to make mine square, so I have a 4x4 here. There. And there. And I measured all these out, so I knew how many of each I needed before I did it. I kind of crafted one of these with like dirt and cobblestone to check how many I need. We'll just make this whole thing first. There. Oh, don't mind that. That's just a cow falling through the earth, or through the walls. Man. Pretty soon I'm just going to break down and just use hover boots and don't even worry about my immunity to fall resistance, or immunity to fall damage, I should say. And then that. And that. So there you go. There's the outside of my containment processing center, whatever you want to call it. And then on the walls where you fill in, you have to use ME heat vents. So those, let me try to sneak in here, maybe. Okay. So those go like this. Kind of filling in the whole thing, except for the inside. And we'll leave one little space for us to get out. And then on the inside, you can have any combinations of pattern providers and CPUs. It's best to have at least one of each. CPUs determine how fast your network runs, and pattern providers determine how many pages of different patterns you have, and I'll show you that in a second. But I made 3 and 5. I don't know why, I just kind of did. CPUs are cheaper, but it's nice to have be able to have a lot of patterns. So I'm going to throw this last pattern provider in here, throw the last heat vent, and there you go. You can see when you've made it right, because it will pretty much change texture completely into this nice assembler here. And when you right click on it, you can see okay, it's a molecular assembler. That's what it's really called. And you can see I have 5 pages. So I've got, you really can't see it changing pages except for right there. But you can see I have 5 pages, and each one of these can be one crafting recipe. So might as well start this out. To make oak. And I think you can just, oops, I think you can shift click this in there. Like if you have this, and shift click, yep, you can see it automatically puts it in there. You don't need the materials. I believe that's an add-on, so just because you have NEI and Applied Energistics doesn't mean you'll be able to do this. I'm fairly sure it's an add-on. Then you click in code, you can see craft 4 wooden planks with 1 oak log. Right click on here, toss it in, and then it will show you the pattern, and when it's in your inventory it just shows a regular encoded pattern. So that's cool. I'm probably going to go through and just kind of make some basic ones. You know, how to make sticks, maybe how to make a chest, kind of that type of thing. And maybe we'll try something a little more advanced after I'm done with that. So I'll come back in a bit. Alright guys, I set up a bit more Autocrafting, and I thought I'd show you a neat little trick that I just learned myself actually. I added this crafting monitor. It shows what you're currently crafting. And actually, I want to cook up some more iron. Let's see. Let's do a couple of that. Okay, so as you can see here, I can automatically craft a full-fledged tesseract with my system now, and like I said, I just actually learned how to do this too. Before this, I didn't know how to fully do it, but now I do. So I'll show you. So first things first, I set up another interface above my induction smelter. You need this to make the Enderium ingots and hardened glass. So I put both of those recipes in here. And what you have to make sure to do on the ME interface here, which I didn't even know about, is called blocking mode. It's originally on ignore the contents of the target inventory, but to use things with like multiple inventories in it like this, you want to make sure to block it. So don't push crafting items if inventory contains items. So like if there's something in here, it won't push the next crafting recipe, and then you might get some, you know, pyrethium while it's trying to craft the Enderium ingots, and some lead while it's trying to craft the hardened glass. So it will only craft one thing in here at a time, which is what you want. And now this is where it gets a little bit more complex. This is for the for melting the ender pearls down and putting them in a bucket. And then you also need to melt more ender pearls down and fill the tesseract frame with them once you get to that step. So what I've done here is there is an interface facing this chest here. So it's going to try to craft things by putting items in the chest, basically. And what it tries to craft is a full tesseract frame and a resonant ender bucket. And so I'll start with a bucket. So with a bucket, it puts 1 bucket and 4 ender pearls in this chest. And it expects a bucket out of it. And that's all there is to it. It doesn't expect it to come from this inventory. It just expects to gain a resonant ender bucket when it puts a bucket and 4 ender pearls in this chest. So we've got a bucket and 4 ender pearls in this chest. From there, we have an item duct always taking stuff out. You could filter this more and say only whitelist. We would whitelist a bucket, ender pearls, and a tesseract frame empty. You could whitelist that on here, but as of right now, the only things that should come through this chest are those items. And then here, for our magma crucible, this is where we want to melt down our ender pearls. So here, I have a whitelist, so only ender pearls will come through this chest into here. So only ender pearls come into here. And for the fluid transposer, that's where we want to stick in a bucket, and we want to stick in our empty tesseract frame when we have that ready. So you can see here I have whitelist again, the empty tesseract frame, and a bucket. And you have to have this magma crucible automatically output into this fluid transposer. It's good to kind of have dedicated crucibles and transposers and stuff. I mean, you don't have to, but it can go up your system. Say if you want to automatically craft like impulse item ducts and you need to like melt down glowstone and stuff. Theoretically, you could have it work. Or you could, have another magma crucible and fluid transposer on the back and like have this chest, have this interface, be able to craft all that stuff and just, separate it out like that. That could work too, but I'm just showing you the basic setup. If you really don't want to mess with it, you could just do one of these setups for each type of liquid that you want to do. So that'd work there. And then the fluid transposer spits out like the resonant ender bucket and the full tesseract frame into this chest here, and then it gets imported back into the system with a precision import bus set on stacks. You don't need precisions. Basically, precisions allow you to filter stuff and do things by stacks and have redstone control, and I believe the basic import buses don't allow you to do any of that. They just import like a half a stack at a time or something like that. I just upgrade them to all of mine to precision just because it's faster and it's not that more expensive. You just need one processor. And then I straightened up my cables a little bit over here because I didn't need as much as I had. So basically that was it. You can see it's crafting my iron. But yeah, like I said, I just learned that, so I thought that was neat. Let's go check out how much energy we're getting here. Holy cow. It's insane. I'm hoping... I doubt it, but let's see what we got going on here. 3. Yikes. Yeah, I didn't need nearly as many of these generators as I thought I did. Maybe I'll take some out of the system for now, but I was hoping this would be enough cows in here to kind of create enough that it would eventually backlog to this barrel. Start filling it up, but apparently that is not the case. I'm not producing much at all, as it seems. Like I said, it takes a long time for the cows to grow up and whatnot, and for them to be able to breed again. I mean, if you had a much bigger pen here, and maybe even a couple breeders and stuff, I'm sure you could be able to easily supply like 10 of these and whatnot. But yeah, we might switch over to bread and see how that does, and maybe throw a few sprinklers down here to increase the growth rate. We might do that. I don't know. These cows don't seem to be very efficient. Maybe I'll have the cows or the cooked beef maybe just supplying like 2 generators, and the rest of these maybe I'll fill with bread. So we might do something like that later. But for now, I think that's about it. Like I've just been doing that. The autocrafting. I put a few more things in here. I put some bronze, pistons, kind of different applied energistics stuff, so I could craft the storage bus on demand. And then I've got, pyrethium, more enderium, and then tesseracts. I feel like there should be one more. Empty tesseract. Tesseract frame full. Yeah, there should be one more in there. Huh. There it is. Wait, did I mess this up? Yeah, okay, never mind. That crafts the tesseract with the full tesseract frame, since you need to add the bronze and so forth. The other one's over there that actually fills the tesseract, so I was just mistaken. So, that's about it for now. Like I said, I'll come back to you guys when I have something a little cooler to show you. And as per usual, I did not see how long this video was getting. Just seeing how the trend goes with me and the length of videos, I initially started doing 15 to 20 minutes. That has happened maybe once, so I think I might just call it and say I'm going to shoot for 25 to 30 minutes. I think that allots me enough time to just kind of get everything I need to get in the episode and maybe take things a little bit slower. Hopefully I'll be showing you guys a bit more of my process rather than, here, look, it's done. So maybe that extra time will allow me to do that. I haven't done anything new so far. I'm still contemplating what to do with my little cow farm over there, if I might just stop it. Right now I'm just collecting the beef, not making any energy. I stopped my glowstone automator just because I already have 1.2 million, so I cut that off. And I think next episode we might shoot for some mistcraft, so that'll be fun. Explore some new dimensions and stuff like that. So be sure to tune in next time to check that, and remember, the cake is a lie.